Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today for my first video on Compass Mechanic, where I have decided to document my move back to Mexico after a lot of thinking. So yeah, I'm going to be leaving the United States and move back to Mexico. I did live there for about 8 years in the past. So this was not some random decision that I came up with. I actually know pretty much exactly what I'm walking into. There's always a couple little surprises you'll run into. This channel is going to be me documenting the process of getting over to Mexico. I've always wanted to do this when I get ready to go, and so now's the time. I'm going to be leaving the United States to Mexico in about 3 months, give or take. It actually depends upon how quickly I could wrap up some legal type paperwork and stuff that I need to do before I leave. I don't want to be over in Mexico trying to do that type of thing because it's always a little bit trickier, a little bit harder, and I'm just really trying to get it done here now before I go. Yeah, so that's, if you want to say anything's a holdup, that's going to be the holdup for right now. I've given myself 3 months to wrap it up. In the process, I'm going to be documenting the good, the bad, the ugly, the financial reality, the stress, and everything else in between because, boy, there's a lot of details you have to take care of before you move to another country. I did live in Mexico for about 8 years in the past. I'm not looking at this as some little vacation in Mexico. It's something that I have already lived through once before, and I'm finally ready to do it. At this point in my life, I'm just ready to make it happen. I am very aware of the heat, the bureaucracy, the cultural differences, the language barriers, the frustrations. I have to say, the bureaucracy is not nearly as bad as one might think. It's just a little bit different. Right now, I live on the East Coast. I've ran into some bureaucratic things with trying to get licenses and different things that have just been crazy. The system is really broken in the state that I'm in right now. Mexico is running more efficiently than where I'm at right now in the United States. But I guess it just is what it is. Some states have more money to make things run smoother, and some don't. But I'm looking forward to going back to Mexico to lower my stress as far as being priced out of so many things. This is a big denominator in why I decided to make a move outside the United States is I just feel like I'm being priced out of houses, apartments, car insurance, food, and many other things. It's been so frustrating for me to be looking at houses, and I have moved around to multiple different states. After I left California, I was really trying to find some place that was more economically friendly, if you want to word it like that. Geez, just housing has gone up everywhere. It's just crazy everywhere. If you want something cheaper, it's kind of like you're pretty much buying either in a very undesirable area in the ghetto, or undesirable meaning a state or an area that people just really don't desire to live in because it's inconvenient or it has bad weather or whatever the case may be. I decided to stop trying to force things to work for me in the United States versus me just going to Mexico and just like living the way I want to live for the amount that I want to live on. It's going to create a lot of breathing room for me. So I'm just ready to make the change. I've been moving around to a couple different states over the past year. I have gone to Austin. I've gone to North Carolina. I came back to Texas and I lived in Dallas, Fort Worth for a while. There's little things about every area that I went to that I was like, man, I just don't know if I could make it work here. I'll be getting into more of those situations and what I ran into and why I changed my mind about certain areas in other videos. After I was ready to leave the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a friend mentioned to me that I should try the East Coast. And I ended up really liking the weather, even though the weather patterns do change a lot because they have actual seasons, which I'm not really used to being from California. But I did end up liking it. But again, the main issue, it keeps going back to the main issue in that the prices of houses and apartments, things like that, are just out of control. We all have to make decisions at some point about the way we want to live. I could get a job and struggle for years to come to just live my life where I'm at now on the East Coast, or I could say, okay, well, I'm going to try something very different and I'm going to try to make my life over in Mexico. The reason Mexico seems so familiar to me, as I've mentioned before, is because I've lived there 8 years in the past. I am moving back to that same area. I miss the food, the daily rhythm, and the people. The people are just very warm. A lot of the places that I've been to, I have not found the people to be as warm as they are in Mexico. In Mexico, I've come across some of the warmest, most friendly people I have ever been around in my life. Prices are lower. Things do move at a slower pace. Some people might look at that as being a good thing or a bad thing, but at this point, I'm open to it. As far as my living condition, when I'm there, I'm going to be looking for some places that have internet speed and other things that I'm looking for, like as far as proximity to certain things that I want to be close to, like stores or coffee shops or whatever it is. The plan is that I am going to be looking for an Airbnb in the area that I want. That's where I'm going to start off at. I am speaking to a Mexican real estate lawyer. Sometimes he will have contacts for people renting out places, possibly in the area that I want to be in. If he does have a contact for something like that, I will hit him up and just tell him I want that place or what have you. That would be his client. He would make that paperwork and things happen. If there's not a place that comes up in the next couple months, I will just simply be leaning into the Airbnb situation because I can land and get a place on the fly when I get there, but I just don't want to. I just want to have a place situated before I land so that I know where I'm going, and just, if I don't like it, I'll change it. But when I land, I want to have a place. I'm not bending on that. I am still researching rentals at this point. Don't know exactly which way I'm going to go right now. I think things will become more clear as we get closer to time for me to leave. So there's some things that are up in the air right now, but long-term housing is the goal. I am budgeting as carefully as possible, trying to make sure money is not blown, that does not need to get blown. It's real tempting for some people when they move to Mexico and they see what they could get for the money, that people are like starting to throw money around and they're like, hey, I want to live in a 3-story like mansion and with the pool in the back. And I'm not going that route. I'm trying to be more careful. There's definitely places that you could get that are more like 5-star type places that you could rent out, and they definitely are cheaper than the United States, but I really do not want to go that route. As far as this channel goes, you guys, I am going to be exploring and seeing different apartments and different areas. I'm going to be house hunting. I'm just going to kind of be making videos as I go along. I think it'll be really interesting, and I'm just really looking forward to make the videos for this channel, especially once I'm already there. So you guys, that's the decision I've made. I'm moving back to Mexico. This channel is where I'm choosing to lay it all out for everyone to see. This is a real vision for me to start over in another country. Please subscribe. I'll see you soon.